force yourself out of your current status quo. The status quo is what keeps businesses stagnant. In fact, the way you have always done it, how things were in the past, you're over-indexing the past, Doc. That could possibly be why the business is not growing, right? So when you have to look around and say, okay, things did work for me, and maybe some things are still currently working that I can amplify. We talked about that in a different video, okay? If you haven't watched that video, by the way, we'll leave a link to it. It's called the amplification video. That's how to really overcome the plateaus you have inside of your practice at any given time, okay? But what happens, and I've seen this in a lot of our partners, is that they just like over-index on the past, okay? They're so sold that the mechanism of patient attraction, the mechanism of sales, their conversion, like whatever it is, they just like are so resistant to innovate it when it stops working. But like what blows my mind, and it doesn't make any sense why we have people that think like this that own businesses, because if you study business, one of the truths is that everything changes every 3 to 5 years, okay? Steve Jobs said, you must reinvent and blow up your business all the time, or your competitors are gonna do it for you, okay? So it's your job as the leader, as the decision maker, as the driver to reinvent constantly. I'm talking about if you're running ads that work for a long time, they will burn out. They need to be reinvented. You need new scripts, you need new hooks. The way you attract patients on your conversion process, right? The way you take people through a day 1, day 2, that is still inevitably also changing too, okay? So like just because something did work doesn't mean it will always work. And believing that it will always work is the quickest way to mediocrity, okay? Because what'll happen is somebody else is gonna innovate on your behalf. And it's probably gonna be a competitor. The competitor is gonna come in, they're gonna change up everything, they're gonna shake it up, and it's gonna be more related to how the market works today, okay? Think about like all this we've seen. Like if you look at like all the businesses in the Fortune 500 over the last X amount of years, like there's only a few that have been on there for more than 50 to 100 years, it's rotated, right? I mean, even like businesses like Kmart, right? They got smoked, dude. Like no one's been to a Kmart. They don't even exist anymore because the Amazons of the world came in and they innovated in a way that was more logical and more of ease to the consumer. And the consumer didn't care. That's what you guys gotta understand. Like the consumer doesn't care. The consumer will go where they feel is the most appropriate, okay? So it doesn't matter if it's Amazon or somebody else, like the competitors will come and eat you alive unless you eat yourself up, okay? That's why you as a leader have to always also reinvent yourself all the time, because like your character traits and your skills and your weaknesses, like those get you to a certain level, but like they will be catastrophic to getting to the next level. You have to reinvent yourself all the time, okay? So this is just like a shorter call to action video on this to challenge your status quo, okay? The way things have always been, how you've done it in the past, over-indexing on the past is a serious mistake, and it's gonna cost you a lot in terms of stress, in terms of time, in terms of energy, okay? So reinvent yourself, okay? What are you doing right now that's not working that you're just doing because you've always done it? Okay, the hardest thing that humans have to do is change. Okay, humans are not great at change, especially in business, okay? So don't feel bad about this. It's gonna feel weird, but lean into it. Because if you don't change, the worst case scenario is you have to blow up your whole organization because somebody else in your community did change enough, and now the patients are going to them, okay? If you want help and you want more like this, hit subscribe. We're putting out these videos twice a week, okay? This video is short, sweet, to the point. Don't over-index the past, and do not fail to challenge the status quo, okay? You will be detrimentally left behind. I can promise you that. I've seen it time and time again. Different clinicians come in and they fail to innovate and they get blown by, okay? The market does not care. They do not care if they leave you behind, okay? They will go to who's the best. If you want more like this, hit subscribe, hit the bell when we post. That way you'll be notified, and I'll see you in the next one. If you want further help on this, I'll leave a link, okay? There's a link to book a call. Okay, on that call, we'll give you clarity on what we would do in your clinic to like keep up. We will challenge your status quo. We will tell you the things that you're doing that you should not be doing anymore, that are no longer working. You have to be open-minded enough to listen, and if you want our help, we're more than happy to have a conversation. So click that link, and I hope to see you in the next video. Cheers.